Good day, everyone. Today, our Group 5, will present to you the answers to problem number 5. The problem: Cozy Bank loaned 7,500,000 pesos to a borrower on January 1, 2018. The terms of the loan were payment in full on January 1, 2023, plus annual interest payment of 12%. The interest payment was made as scheduled on January 1, 2019. However, due to financial setbacks, the borrower was unable to make the 2020 interest payment. The bank considered the loan impaired and projected the cash flows from the loan on December 31, 2020. The bank accrued the interest in December 31, 2019, but did not continue to accrue interest for 2020 due to the impairment of the loan. The given are projected cash flows: December 31, 2021, 500,000; on 2022, 1 million; on 2023, 2 million; on 2024, 4 million. The PV of 1 at 12%, on 1 period 0.89, on 2 periods 0.80, on 3 periods 0.71, 4 periods 0.64.
Now, for the requirements. First, compute the present value of the loan receivable on December 31, 2020. Number 2, compute the impairment loss on the loan receivable. Number 3, prepare the journal entries for 2020 to 2024.
So for requirement number 1, compute the present value of the loan receivable on December 31, 2020. So for the solution, first is we need to find the present value of future cash flow for every period. We multiply the principal amount of each year to the present value factor of each period. So for the first year, we will use the present value factor for one period, which is 0.89. So 500,000 multiplied by 0.89, which is equal to 445,000. For the second year, we will use the present value factor for two periods, which is 0.80. So 1 million multiplied by 0.80, which is equal to 800,000. For the third year, we will use the present value factor for three periods, which is 0.71. So 2 million multiplied by 0.71, which is equal to 1,420,000. Then for the fourth year, we will use the present value factor for 4 periods, which is 0.64. So 4 million multiplied by 0.64, which is equal to 2,560,000. Then we add all the present value of cash flow for each period to get the total present value of loan for December 31, 2020, which is equal to 5,225,000.
Now, for the requirement number 2, compute the impairment loss on the loan receivable. First, we must add the principal amount amounting to 7,500,000 to the interest amounting to 900,000, resulting to a carrying amount of 8,400,000. And the next step is that we will subtract it to the present value of the loan receivable that we got from the requirement number 1, amounting to 5,225,000, with a result of an impairment loss amounting to 3,175,000.
For the requirement number 3, which is to prepare the journal entries for 2020 to 2024. But before to prepare the journal entries, we must find the amount for the entries, which is based on a schedule of payments on the requirement number 1 and the answers of the requirement number 2. There will be journal entries for 2020, which are to record the interest earned but not yet collected, which is debit accrued interest receivable, and credit interest income amounted 900,000. There will be a record loan impairment, which are debit loan impairment loss amounted 3,175,000, and credit accrued interest receivable and allowance for loan impairment amounted 900,000 and 2,275,000 respectively. The amount, which is based on the answers on the requirement number 2. We create a presentation of statement of financial position on December 31, 2020. It's just an optional because we will use it as a guide to find the amount for the next year, which is the journal entries for 2021. The journal entries for 2021, the date is based on the schedule of principal payments, which is found on the requirement number 1. The entries are cash, debit, and credit loans receivable amounted 500,000, which is the collection of loans. There will be an allowance for loan impairment, which is debited because of the earned interest income, amounted 627,000, which is based on the carrying amount with the present value of the loan amounted 5,225,000 multiplied by the interest rate. Then, we create the presentation of statement of financial position on December 31, 2021. Again, it's an optional and we use it as a guide to find the amount for next year. The journal entries for 2022. The journal entries are the same as the last year's journal entries, but the amount is different, which is based on a schedule of projected cash flows or the payment of principal. The cash is debited and the loan receivable is credited amounted 1 million, while the allowance for loan impairment debited and interest income earned amounted 642,240, which is based on the carrying amount of last year, which is 5,352,000 multiplied by the interest rate. This is the reason why we use the presentation of statement of financial position in order for us to know the amount for the next year. And again, we create another presentation of statement of financial position for December 31, 2022, which is an option or optional, and we use it as a guide to find the amount for next year. The journal entries for 2023, the same process in the same journal entries or accounting titles, but the amount is different. Again, it is based on the requirement number 1, but the interest income or the interest earned and amortization amounted 599,309, which is based on the carrying amount last year, which is 4,994,000 multiplied by interest rate, which is 12%, and the collection of loan receivable amounted 2 million. Again, the presentation of statement of financial position is created as guide for the guidance and is also optional. Now, for the journal entries of 2024, the same journal entries but different process. The collection of loans receivable is 4 million, which is also based on the requirement number 1, but the interest income or the earned interest and amortization, which is only copy by the last year's accrued interest income, amounted 406,451. And then there will be no presentation of financial position for this year because the loan receivable is already matured and earned and collected. If you want to make sure if your answer is correct, add all interest income from from 2020 to 2024, and the total interest income must equal to the impairment loss of 3,175,000.